I'm going to cover the cron jobs here. So on this machine, file new, you could do a number of cron jobs. For example, on this one, if I have a cron jobs on my Solaris machine, which I might have, because at one point I was starting the Apache as a cron job and some of the VirtualBox as a cron job. Let's see if I do have anything here. Host name, and it's not responding right now because of a network is getting integration mode. So host name here, cron tab -l. This one, there's no cron tab. Normally when you do a cron tab command, cron tab is the command, -l listed, and then the user that you're logged on, you could check on it as that user. If I'm root, let's say I go sudo su dash, and I just become root, and on this machine, and then I run the cron tab command, -l, it will just say root doesn't have any cron tab. But if I want to see for the user wlutfi, I say cron tab -u wlutfi. That will check for the user, and you can see -u and then user information there. It tells me the syntax of how I could list it. So if I just say -l for listing and then -u for user, it will say that this user does not have it. But because I did not put the -l, so it says, yeah, you're giving me the username, but you're not telling me what you want to do with it. So the option with cron tab normally is -u for user, but -l to list it, -e to edit the cron tab, -r to remove it, and then -i to interactively remove it, it promptly for deletion, and then so on. All these other options are there. So if I just want to do a cron tab normally, where the cron tab is and the var is pool directory. And the var is pool directory, there's a number of crons and LP and mail and MQ for mail, and then add for add jobs, cron for cron jobs, cups for security, LPD for line printer, and so on. All of that one is in the cron job. And then if I do a mail queue, for example, it says you don't have any mail because inside this directory, var spool mq is empty. And that's why I have no mail. But if I just use the add symbol, the add command normally it says at a particular time, if you want to run a command, you could just run that command at a particular time and execute it and get the output of it. So, for example, say at now plus 2 minutes. So I could run this command, pwd ls-ld, who, uname. So I want to do all of that, and then I say Control D. Now that job is submitted at now plus 2 minutes. And if I just say at queue for show me the job, that's job number 2. Jobs also, if I had submitted in the background, will show it, but at queue or at -l will be the same thing. At queue or at, meaning that show me the list of the jobs. So now if I just leave that job 2 minutes later, because normally by default, whoever run it, in this case, I'm root, and if mail is configured on this machine, I'll get a mail that command run or something, it will just send me the output of it. So these are the list of the commands that are already sent to me, my mail, but I could just look at the, let's say, for example, header 1, head 1, or list the first one. If I want to read it, it's there. So this is not something that I want. I say delete. H for header, Then I say read the number 2, and then it says, okay, so wlutfi user not this or this, I'm going to say delete that one too. And then h again, header. So 3, what it is, that one, let's read it. That's not something that I want to keep, is delete. H again, header. 4, read it. So I could say delete 4, like that too, header. And then 5. So this is the GNOME shell. Some of them you can see as since February 2020, so I could delete that one also. Delete and then header that. So H of 6, number 6, and that's April 30th, and then I say delete that one. And now I don't have anything, messages. So that command, if you gave the add command with -m, it will mail it. And if you say uppercase M, don't mail it. At -l will list if the job is not in the queue, it is not executed. Since that job terminated, whether the information was sent to a logs or to the mail, depending on your configuration, how you run the command and how you configure it. I will show you some of the options here with at and cron tabs entries, and how you could make it work, and how you configure them. So if you go to the etc directory, there's one file called add.allow and add.deny. These two files, if they exist, so add.allow, it will say this user, let's say I say wlutfi could run a command, I need to add it to add.allow. If my add.deny does not have any entry, that means by default everybody is allowed to run the command. So either if you put a user, say add.deny, inside there as wlutfi, then wlutfi cannot use the add command. But if you add add.allowed with wlutfi, every other user that are not found at the add.allow, they're not allowed to run the command, because even though you did not list them on the add.deny, once you created one account on the add.allow, then the rest of the users are by default or considered as if they were denied. So you have to make sure the next user is also allowed on the add. That's why some of these files doesn't exist to begin with, like add.allow is not there, but add.deny is there. If add.deny is empty, that means everybody is allowed to run the command. And then here in the var spool directory, there's an add directory. So if I go to add directory here, there's another one, spool directory. And then here you don't see anything, but there's a dot sequence as of just earlier, maybe 10:08:54, 5 minutes ago. Let's look at that one to see what is inside there. File, so a spool, and then see the file. This is the file, but it's a directory, one of them, and then the other one is a hidden file, .seq and file.seq, as a text file. So .seq, it just says that 2 minutes, the sequence, maybe I say add plus 2 minutes, the sequence were created there. Maybe something else, I'm not exactly sure what that number represent in their sequence. Then you also have var log. Let's see if there's anything with add. Let's start, okay. Let's monocell star.cron. So the cron jobs on this directory var log is whatever you have on the cron, the output is also written here on the var log. So more cron. If you look at it, the last time that a cron job was submitted and ran, it's showing the output here. What machine I am? Okay, so I'm on a CentOS machine. Let me see if this other machine is there. Okay, so cron tab -L, and this one is just going to list if am running any cron tab as root. And at the same time, let's see, this one finally finished. So this one finished, I put it on the temp directory of that machine. Let me just Control C out of it. Actually, you can see I am running some cron jobs here. So the cron jobs, for example, as root, log ADM, that's log administrator for log rotation, and if it's fine and other ones. There's a lot of SAR and other things by default. On Solaris, you can configure it. So the cron jobs, when you configure it, it has 5 kind of field before the actual script or command that you want to run. The first field is indicating the minutes at 10 minutes past the hour. So 3 means 3 a.m. And this is star means any day of the month. And then this is, so this means 0 through 31 or 0 through 29 for February. And then this one is the month 1 through 12. And that's the month in a year. And this is a week of the day. 0 meaning Sunday, 1 meaning Monday, and 0 through 6 for all the days of the week. 0 the Sunday. So this script that is here, it checks for this, and if it's fine, if it is executable, then runs this command on every Sunday at 3:15 a.m. This one runs at 3:30 every day. This means every day of the week, every month of the year, and every day of the month. And this one is basically saying that run it at 12 midnight every night, every day of the year, and every day month of the year, every day of the month, and every this is the hour, every hour, 24 hours, run it every hour you run it. But since it puts it at 0, it means only run it at midnight. And then this one says that run it every day. And then this one says every month. And this one says every day of the week. So cron tab is giving that options. And when you put it a comment here, it will just do this. So if I just say cron tab -L, listed for my root cron tab there. And at the same time, since I have it under var spool cron and then cron tabs, there's a cron tab, cron tabs, then I have a root file here. And then the root file, because I am my ID there, I say cron tab -L root is the same thing as a cron tab -L. And if I want to see the sys, I say cron tab -L -u sys. So that would give me this. And notice on this one, it says -L, and then you don't say -u like Linux. It just, the syntax is -L and then L and then sys. Automatically will just do the sys. And then this is the SAR, system activity report. SA will stand for SAR. You enable it and then you get the system activity report. And you can see that some of them are SA2, like these ones. If you have this file system running as a cron job, you could do SAR -A, for example, to get all the system activity report for the entire system. SAR stands for System Activity Report. And you can see that if I do -A for all, you can do -CC for CPU and so on. There's each one of them, you can do certain parameters with it. And then the command -SAR will actually tell you the syntax. And then this is the binaries from the cron jobs that you set it up for the SAR, and this is again within your sys cron jobs, and so on, and this one. And then you can see SAR is there, SVC, ADM, IOStat, and PMStat. If VC ADM is there, we covered a lot of these commands already. Good thing that you are going to be an expert soon. This is the service management facility, equivalent to your Windows services command, or Linux services command, or Linux Red Hat system systemctl command. Those are the same thing. It's called service management facility. It allows you to start and stop services at different run level or different kind of checkpoint, or at one, whether they are on a standalone server running in a single user mode, multi-user mode, multi-user NFS, and all that other options. So we did look at the cron job. We look at the directories on the cron jobs. Here we have a list of them, like cron tab minus L ADM will just show you the ADM user. And this is equivalent to cat ADM here, or ls minus L sys, cron tab minus L sys is equivalent to cat sys. Because I'm on that directory, I could see the content of it. And then if I just want to modify it, I'm not going to modify this one with VI the sys. That's not good to do this one like that. So the right way to do it is, if you are modifying the sys cron tab entity, you do cron tab minus E sys for edit sys. And then command not found, I'm sorry, cron tab minus E sys. I typed it wrong. So you could do this one, but then again, this is something for sys. The right way to do this one is to say switch user to -sys. Now I'm on a sys user, and then I say cron tab minus E, automatically open up my sys cron tab entry. A number of things that you could do. For example, if you want to just comment this line to not run, you could just do that there. And then you don't have the SAR level 1 system activity report later on. If you just say, what is that one? You could just say file /user/lib/sa1. You will see this is a shell script. And if I look at the content of that one, bang $, sorry, no such file or directory, more $, bang. What did I do on the file? I'm going to just say more user lib sa1. So you can see that the script is actually doing the SAR. It runs a date, get the end directory, and then this is a system activity command, and that it runs. So if I tell /user/lib sa, it's a directory. Under here, there's a lot of other script for whatever run level they are. And if I do file /user/sa/star, you will see that these are shell script. Say for run level 1 for SAR activity report. This is responsible for run level 2. And then let's look at user lib sa1. This is that. And then if I look at the sa2, this is running this command date, and then capture that information. And then the other one is, it also run the report as the SAR with the particular date for that day, capture it with dates. what happened here. Um, okay, so with add command, you could do similar things. We are on the Solaris machine. We could look at the add symbol, cd. Let me just exit out of this. Go back to the root var spool. Not this time. I'm going to look at the add. So this one does not have an add. There's no entry created. And there, if I just say add now plus 3 minutes, then I say cron tab minus L who, and then svcs minus A. Run those command and control D out of it. Now that job is submitted at made this one, so I could say at minus L, it will show that that job is submitted there. I can shut down that job by this job ID. I could just say add rm and then remove it, or just let it run and then see where the output is written, whether it's written somewhere on that directory or somewhere here, or mail to me, because I am there, mail queue. Eventually, if it mailed to me, it will just write it. But this time I'm going to do another one, say at now plus 1 minute, and then this time I'm going to just run one command called df minus h, and then control D, actually, and then I'm going to do the same thing, but this time instead of this, I'm going to say minus m for message to mail to me. See if it mails to me on the root file system. And this time I say uname minus a output and pwd, and then id, those ones, control D. So now I just submitted. If I say at minus L, there's at least 3 of them. And then you can see the job that they should be running at 22:13, which is one of them just run. No, not yet. It's 13:18. And then 45 date. Okay, now date at dash L. See at Q, you can see the first one run. The next one is going to run at 22:14 and 2020, 22:14 and 10:14. Why is that date is 22:14 when I'm just running it? Date. Okay, at Q. Yeah, the next one finished, and then so at Q, it's the last one is gonna finish soon because it's only 1 minute left for that one. At Q, yeah, it finished. No file there. So let's see if I get an email. Only the option that I saved with minus M, it sent me the output for that job. So the uname minus A is showing here, and then the ID is showing there, and then it is there. So now I could say quit, and then still say mail queue. It is nothing there. If I just do mail, it still is gonna list of all the things that were there. Notice that on the list of the command svcs, that my previous command that I did with the at, even though I did not specify the minus m option, it still mailed to me those commands. So that is from one of the command I was doing svc adm, and it just sent it that information here. So if I just say go ahead this, and let me see and delete that one, Next output, my Solaris, delete that one. And this is the df-h command, delete that one. And now mail queue, mail, there's no mail. So I want to run one more command, and I'm going to specify a command to see the output of my script. So I could just say, right here, I could write a script, say, let's say, go to any directory here at, let's say, home wlottery, and I'm gonna just say cd to sources. Let's see what I have here. This is Python stuff. So I'm going to just create one file, one script here called s1, bis1.sh, and I'm gonna say /bin, yeah, user ben env and then bash. Let me make sure that my env is in that path, env, yeah, user ben env. So I'm going to run a command here to just do some for statement. Let's say for I and sequence 1.5. I'm gonna put the debugging option set -x on. Unfortunately, the debugging, when you say -x, it sets it on when +x is, so it's counterintuitive. -x put the debugger on, and the +x removed it. So if I do the count for I this do, and then I say echo working on line number $, and then I just note quickly, and then I just say this, get out, and then do done, and then I'm gonna put the debugger option here off, set +x, and then I say for j, and this time I'm gonna do A through Z. Rather than A through Z, I want to do it with uppercase A .e, not the first letter. I'm going to do that, and then say do echo the letter, the character, not letter, the character was $J. I should have chosen the C instead of J. And the way you do that one is you just go here, done, and you could say set NU, that is those line numbers. So I could say between the line 10 and line 12, where you say J, change it to a C. So I could say set no NU, and then from 10 to 12, I say 10 to 12, substitute and J to C, and then undo that. So now I change that one to character, and instead of the variable this, it makes more sense. So I save this one, and then if I run this script from the script, let me just make a permission first, change the permission, change mode U plus X. I could do it without the 7, I could do it this way too. So now I have made it there. I say cut s1.sh. That's my script, clear the screen, cut, clear the screen did not work, clear, yeah, so it's not working with this option, tput rmsu, and then tput, okay, the color is the problem. So when you do the term, you say, since I'm using what shell? I'm using bash, I could say export a term is equal VT100. Now I should be able to do a clear. because my terminal was different external stuff. It did not do it. Tput clear also does that. The tput clear command is the equivalent of clear, but if my terminal $ is not VT100 and it was some other external color, this thing that was not recognized the clear command. So let's just run the script s1.sh, s1.sh. So clear the screen, ls minus l s1.sh, cut minus n s1.sh. Now I'm going to run s1.sh, and it's going to set the X option for 1 to 5 is going to say line number 5, and then this other one is going to say, but this one is going to put it in debug mode, so it will actually run the command with the list. As you can see, it says it's working on this command. Every time this plus you see it, it's because we are putting it in debug mode. It shows the command and then at the output. Shows the command and the output. And this one, since I set that debug into plus X, I don't want to see those debug option, then it's going to do it. So now let's say s1.sh, I'm going to just comment this line out and comment this line out. Just for the sake of clarity on the screen, I do the cut minus n s1.sh. Now this time I run s1.sh, is going to just do exactly what we're looking for. So why did I write this script? I'm going to test this script as a cron job and as a at job to see how they could work on it. If I just want to set up this script as a cron job to run the next minute, I have to first find out the date. So the date is 10/23 right now. I could go ahead and modify the cron job, say cron tab minus E or edit, and then say go to the bottom of it, and then, quit out of this, clear the screen, pwd ls minus l s1.sh. Since this is the path where I want to run the script from, and I want to send the output also on the same location of my cron job, whatever is the output, I want to send it to an output file, s1.out, and then whatever the error, I want to send it to s1.error. So I could make my cron job at any time I want, but I want to test it now. So this is the time date. So 10/24, if I make it at 10, maybe 27, I could be done with the cron by that. So let's say cron tab minus E. I'm gonna go to the end of the script, and then right here I say 27, 10, and then star, and then the path where I want to just run the script, and the script name is s1.sh, and then the output of it, I'm going to send it to the same path where I want to send it to as s1.out and 2 greater sign %1, meaning that send the same the errors, if there's any error, onto the same output. If there's no error, I could just say 2 greater sign, let's say path of like this path, and then send it to /s1.error. You could do that, and that will execute there. Now, since I did it, I say cron tab minus L. Cron tab minus L. Cron tab minus L. It will show, and then this is my last line that was there. So in order for me to do it, clear the screen, date is there, it's 25, we still have time for 27. So I'm gonna do cron tab minus U minus L for root, and then grep for minus I s1.sh. So I only want to see the last one that I'm activating it. And basically here I said run it at 1027 every day, every month of the year, and then every day of the week. And this is the script to run. Send the output of this script to s1.out, and then also if there's an error or you found it, send it to s1.error. I could have done 2 greater sign &1 to send it only to s1.output the error as well. But it's more clear this way. Now I'm there. I'm just going to wait for the 1026 to see if it writes to it at 1027. So I could say while true and do cron tab minus L and grep minus I minus Y s1.sh, and then undo that one and let that sleep 1 second, and then do a ls minus L on this directory with s1.star, and then done. So every time I just look at it, if the cron is running, it will report to me when actually s1.out is getting created and when is, so far is only s1.sh, because s1.out, the cron has not run yet. I mean, normally you don't write monitors like this. You do some condition. When it found that one, just send me an email, and then when it's done, exit out of it. Notice that now the error file got created, because that error file, if it does come out with an error, there might be no output file there, only this. So let me just Control C out of this and type in date. It's already 28, meaning that it's one run, but whether it finished or not, there's s1 dot error on this directory. So let's see what happened with it. S1 dot sh is there, cron tab minus L, 1027. Date is 10:27 p.m. That's Pacific time. I believe this is off for me. I'm looking at, this is a PM, so instead of 10:27, this is 10 a.m. I need to change this one to 22, which is 10 plus 12 is 22. So let me go back here, and then date is there now, 29. I could do cron tab minus E, and then 27, I'm going to make it 31. So 27, I'm going to just make this one 31 and make this one 22. That's PM. It's military time, so that's what that was the issue, that the cron did not run. It's going to run in the morning if I was waiting for 10:27 a.m. Now I made it to PM. That's gonna just run it as soon as it's 31. Let's see if that's 10:31:05. So we need to wait another 50 seconds. And while we're waiting on that one, we could do one at command to run this script also. Say at now plus 2 minutes, 2 minute, and then I'm gonna say run the s1.out, s1.sh, and then send the output to s1.out.at. So we know that that output is there, and then Control D. So now at Q will show me that job is there, which is going to run at 10:32. Date is 10:31 already. So we should have a job for the cron job s1 dot something dot out and s1 dot error if it was there. Since error is 0, there was no error. That's a good thing. But s1 dot out was created because at 10:32 p.m., 31 p.m., it executed the cron job, and s1 dot out was written there. And that's the output of it there, that it's all successful from there. So by doing this cron tab minus L and adding, let me clear that one, cron tab minus L, grep minus I is s1.sh. By adding this one, this is basically every day at 10:31, it is running. So if I just say don't run it every day, cron tab minus E, I could modify the line to say run it on a particular day or something, but I could just also say this one, I just comment it out and don't run it next time on another day. Cron tab minus L, sorry, cron tab minus, now it is no longer going to run this one because it's commented out. Let's see the add job that we did. So at Q, it will show it still is waiting. Date, it just changed to 32:39 and should have run by now at, did I say 22:32 at now plus 2 minutes. Oh, at the time that I submitted must, yeah, it should have at Q, let's see what, yeah, it just finished at that time. So if I just look at the something dot at here, if the output was written, yes, it did execute it. So and this was my at command, which I wrote the output at, and that's the for statement that was executing properly there. So you see output of a cron job as well as a job. We just created from 2 ways running it there. But the at command, you don't have to say at now plus 2 minutes or at now plus 1 day or what at now plus tomorrow or at tomorrow do this one at Friday. You could put a lot of different things at noon, at tea time. Tea time by default is 4 p.m. At noon, at midnight, at morning, at evening. Those kind of things, variables are already defined there. And then when you do at midnight, for example, it runs at 12 midnight. And then at noon is 12 noon. And then at now plus something, plus 1 day or plus 5 days, or at a particular year, or if you say at now plus 10 years, then it's gonna run the execute in 10 years. At now plus 20 years, if the system is still up and running, at that time it will be running at that time. So, but you are putting commands that make sense, that you're not gonna run a machine and then wait for the result 20 years from now. But you could just say, well, just execute this thing saying that this is what I predicted, and then at 10 years from now, let's just validate that predict by running my script to see if that validation, there's a lot of fun for it if you want to just play around on the system that way. I think I covered enough for this session, and it's good for you to do the lab activity. And let me see if, oh, actually on this one, I want to show you one more thing.